The year 2115. Tuesday, 9 in the morning, and 11-year-old Maya has not gone to school. She will never go to school. Right now, she's standing in a fabrication hall 3 floors below her apartment, arguing with a boy from Lagos about wing geometry, his face floating life-size beside her, while a ceramic printer hums out the drone frame they designed together yesterday. An hour from now, she'll be in the building's biology lab, checking on a coral experiment that a marine lab in the Philippines is actually using. Nobody will grade her today. Nobody will rank her. And by our standards, this child, who has never sat in a classroom, never taken a test, never raised her hand for permission to speak, is one of the best educated 11-year-olds who has ever lived. Her great-grandparents went to school the way we did. To understand why she doesn't, you have to understand what school actually was. The classroom we knew was an industrial design, 30 children, sorted by manufacturing date, moving through identical stations on a fixed schedule, tested for defects at the end of each unit. It was honest work for its century. It taught nations to read, but it was built to deliver knowledge to places where knowledge was scarce. And by the 2030s, knowledge wasn't scarce anywhere. Every child alive carried more information in their pocket than every library their grandparents ever entered. The school kept running for decades anyway, not because it worked, but because both parents did, and the building solved that. The flip came quietly, the way it always does. Once a personal tutor, patient, brilliant, and free, could sit in every child's ear, the question stopped being, how do we deliver knowledge? And became, what do children actually need that a tutor can't give? The answer rebuilt everything. Other people, real problems, and something true at stake. So, walk through Maya's Tuesday because her week is the answer in motion. Her mornings belong to the Neighborhood Learning Hub, not a school, a place, a printed composite building, all glass and workshop floors, where about 200 children share the block's fabrication bays, wet labs, and studios. There are no grades in the building. There are no age groups either, and this is the part that startles us most. Maya's drone team includes a 9-year-old who is the best aerodynamicist of the 3, and a 14-year-old who mostly manages the budget. Children, sorted by birth year, it turns out, was never about learning. It was about logistics. Her tutor knows her completely, every concept she's ever wrestled with, the exact shape of her curiosity, the fact that she learns physics best through things that fly. When she hits a wall, it doesn't hand her the answer. It rebuilds the problem into a shape her mind can climb. 15 minutes of that beats a semester of sitting quietly while a teacher addresses the middle of the room. The human adults in her life do something else entirely. The master builder who runs the fabrication bay doesn't teach. He works out loud and lets children orbit him. Judgment, taste, honesty about failure, the things that never fit in a curriculum, transfer the old way by standing next to someone who has them. And here's what carries the real weight. Everything the children make is real. The coral data goes to actual reefs. The drone Maya's team is printing will fly water samples for the city's river service. In 2115, childhood is not a waiting room where you rehearse for a life that starts later. Competence arrives when it arrives, and the world absorbs it immediately. Ask Maya what she wants to be when she grows up, and she'll look at you, genuinely confused. She isn't waiting to be anything. She already is. The tests never came back, by the way. Nothing replaced them, because the question they answered stopped being asked. Her work is simply visible. The reef data, the flight logs, the things she's built, stretching back to when she was 6. Nobody needs a number that predicts what she can do. You can just look. There's a catch, and it's worth being honest about it. A tutor that shapes itself around a child also shapes the child. Every problem it chooses, every interest it feeds, is a quiet bet on who that child should become. And someone wrote that system. In Maya's century, the fiercest education debates aren't about funding or curricula. They're about drift, the slow discovery that children tutored by systems trained on the same foundations were converging, asking similar questions, admiring similar things. The fix was deliberate friction. Tutors are now required, by law, to regularly hand children problems from traditions utterly foreign to their own. Sameness, it turns out, was the one thing the machines taught too well. So tonight, if there's a backpack hanging by your door, half-finished homework inside, a test on Friday, know that it's already a museum piece. The children of 2115 will study our classrooms the way we study one-room schoolhouses, with respect and mild disbelief. School is what we built when knowledge was scarce and childhood was a waiting room. Their children live in the version that came after. No bells, no rows, no permission slips, just the whole world, arriving early.